Okay. Hi guys, welcome back. I truly want to say thank you so much to everybody that has been leaving comments, that has been honestly just liking any of my videos and interacting with them. It has been honestly a little a little crazy to see everybody's reaction and that everybody has been really enjoying them. Like I said, I feel like I'm just in a corner of this internet section and I can't believe anybody's actually watching my video. So if I seemed nervous before, just imagine how I feel now. Yeah. Anyway, so we have covered a couple of topics, and one of the main ones has been this whole situation with Jen Dent, Adam McIntyre, Paige Christie, along with the Sixth Spence. And I've seen Evangelina's video. I've seen Adam's reaction as well. I have not filmed it, but I've seen it. And I really wanted to watch the deleted apology video before we watch Adam's reaction to it. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. I want to go ahead and react to it and see what I think before I even give any other opinions about anything else.
Hey everyone, if you're here, I'm going to assume that you know what this video is about. If you don't know what this video is about, I will do my best to give context as I go. The day before yesterday, I uploaded a video about somebody named Jen Dent, who was a victim of a situation that I felt very strongly about. At the end of that video, I offer criticism to two commentary channels, namely Adam McIntyre and Paige Christie. The criticism that I offered to Paige Christie is around the fact that I felt that she contributed to Jen's victimization through the fact that she made a video framing Jen as a hysterical, angry woman and perpetuating that narrative and further victimizing her in that way. In my video, I react to the thumbnail and I react to the first 10 seconds of the video, and I say that I did not watch the rest of the video. That was the case at the time that I filmed the video. However, in between when I filmed the video and when I published the video,
Off the bat, I'm sorry, but you're already telling us that you have not watched the video and you did it at the time. And I think that has been everybody's honestly just issue from the jump, because how are you going to criticize Paige Christie based on a facial expression when you haven't even watched the entirety of the video or even showed the actual context of everything? And Paige Christie has already said this. Our previous video was reacting to her video where she was really just explaining this entire video in the portion that speaks about her. So please go check that out. But above anything, please send Paige some love. Watch her video explaining how this just affected her really, and it was really emotional. So
I did watch Paige's entire video. And that was specifically because I wanted to see if I wanted to leave that section in or not. And as far as further victimizing Jen goes, the video was bad. It was. Yes, it offered some critique to Adam, but she also offers critique to Jen about those very things that I criticized Paige for perpetuating. And in line with what Paige was perpetuating, her comment section was filled with people calling Jen aggressive, calling her cringe, calling her a bully, calling her a harasser, saying that she's doing too much. Paige was perpetuating that with her video. So I considered refilming that section, truthfully, with even more criticism than I gave in that section, because I had even more to say now that I had watched Paige's video. But I really felt that those first 10 seconds were enough. I felt that they did enough damage to communicate that that was a shitty thing to do to Jen, to a victim. I don't regret offering
her facial expression. We're entitled as humans to make facial. I make crazy facial expressions. I'm sorry. I truly do. And sometimes I have to catch myself because I'm just going about my day making weird faces. So I don't agree with us. Second of all, I do want to mention the fact that I believe that the Sixth Spence deleted, or first of all, they were doubling down on their comment in their comment section on what this entire situation was and their original viewpoint. Second of all, I think then and only then they deleted their video, and then they made a community post apologizing or something like that after they uploaded their apology video, because they received so much hate from this apology video that they deleted this video, uploaded a community post, deleted the community post apologizing, and then deleted their entire YouTube channel. And I did see a section of Adam McIntyre's video where he was discussing this whole situation, and he found out on live that they deleted their entire YouTube channel. So I thought that was pretty funny, and definitely go check out his reaction to that as well.
Offering that criticism. I really don't. Seeing the damage that it did to Jen, seeing her reaction to it, it hurt me. And it upset me. I was angry about it. Where I did fuck up, though, was in a section of my video where I tell Paige Christie.
It hurt them to see Jen that way. And don't get me wrong, I'm an empathetic person. I got emotional just seeing Paige Christie's video. I truly did. So I understand that. However, I think it's important to also note here specifically that Jen Dent is friends with Cody Tyler. Now, I'm not aware of that side of the internet, but I am aware of generally who they are and what they've done specifically to Adam McIntyre. And if you're kind of aware of what was going down in 2020 with Adam McIntyre and Cody Tyler, then everything starts to kind of make sense in regards to how they're targeting Adam throughout this entire thing. Jen Dent is definitely targeting him. Evangelina, in her most recent video, I loved how she really just pointed out the fact that she made the same mistake, the original mistake, where they platform, what was her name? Alyssa? They platform Alyssa. They made a mistake. They weren't aware of all the details because all that information wasn't necessarily just readily available unless you kind of were aware of that situation. But they both made a mistake. They handled their apologies a little differently. Adam took a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, they made the same mistake. And who are they just honing in on? Who are they targeting? Adam. And now they're going after Paige because Paige, in the Sixth Spence eyes, is Adam's friend. Weird. Weird. Weird.
You should have known better. In fact, I think I say you of all people should have known better. That's the phrasing that I use. I want to first explain what I meant when I said that, but that's not me excusing the fact that I said it. So I had been a fan of Paige Christie's for a very, very long time. I was there back when her controversy with Jackie Aina happened, where Jackie Aina accused her of hacking her bank account. Anyway, at the time, a lot of fans of Jackie Aina's were weaponizing the fact that Paige was angry, the fact that she was agitated about the situation, because of course she was. She was getting accused of hacking someone's fucking bank account. Her reactions to that, her reactions to the fact that she was getting attacked by this YouTuber that she respected so much, about the fact that she was getting accused of things that she would never do. Of course, her reaction to that was very agitated, and people very heavily weaponized that against her. And I was there to defend her when that happened, and I felt so strongly about the fact that she had the right to react to that in whatever fucking way she wanted to. And so when I said you of all people should have known better, and I expressed so much disappointment over it, that was where that came from. It was from the fact that she's experienced what it's like to have your personality weaponized against you. To have people say, yeah, I guess you're kind of valid, but like also you're really angry and loud, so that annoys me. I'm not going to listen to what you have to say. That was what I meant when I said you of all people should know better, because this has happened to you. You know what it's like to be discredited for having a very agitated reaction when you're not a white man on the internet, because they get to have really loud, agitated, intense reactions to things, and nobody says anything. Nobody says, oh, he's cringe. Oh, this is hard to watch. Oh, this is difficult.
I'm not going to comment on that. But weird thing to say.
Difficult to look at. Like, this is what people say about women who have really agitated reactions online. However, and the issue with the way that I express myself is in the fact that black women in particular are often held to a much higher moral standard. There's this idea that they should be paragons of morality that the rest of us should expect good behavior from. And so in saying you, of all people, should have known better, I perpetuated that. And I remember in the moment when I filmed that, feeling like there was something a little bit about the way that I expressed myself there. Like, I remember even in the moment being like, I feel like there's something finicky, but I thought about it and I was struggling to verbalize in my mind why I felt a little bit insecure about that phrasing. And because I couldn't explain it to myself, I thought that it was okay. And I moved forward with it, and I thought that people would understand what I meant to say with it. If you're a follower of mine, and I doubt that you are because I have like 3 followers, nobody really watches my videos. But if you are, you'll know that I posted a video titled, They Knew It Would Hurt You. And in that video, I talk really heavily about the difference between action and intent. How if you go up to...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still confused as to what they're trying to say. It doesn't make sense. It's still bad.
to somebody and you said you did something that hurt me, if the conversation begins and ends with them saying, well, that's not what I meant, then all they've done is defend their reputation. They're not showing any care for you and the ways that they've hurt you. And if you're a victim of microaggressions every single day where people constantly expect you to know better because you're a black woman being held to a higher moral standard, having that really careless phrasing thrown at you is hurtful. It's triggering. And the harm goes far beyond what I meant. The harm is in the way that I said it because, first of all, the way that would trigger a Black woman to hear, but secondly, in the way that somebody who doesn't know what I meant by it, who is a racist themselves, can see me saying what I said and take it and throw it at Paige in the racist way that it can be interpreted. Now, would I have apologized like this if I didn't get so much backlash? Truthfully, I don't know. I don't know if I would have. And I'm ashamed to admit that. That's a bit of a shameful realization for me that I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have apologized if I didn't get so much backlash, if Paige didn't have the audience that she has. And that's made me reflect a lot on the ways that, I'll see somebody online doing something really racist. And every single time I'll view myself as so separated from those people. Like, I'll judge them for being racist, but it doesn't get me thinking about the ways in which I can still be racist. I view them doing blatantly racist things, getting canceled for it. And I view myself as above them, as above racism in that way. And I'm realizing that I'm not. I really am not. Every time I watch somebody being racist online, instead of sitting there going, oh, haha, you're racist, I'm not, I should have sat there and gone, I should think about what that means for me. I should think about how I can do better. And I don't do that. I look at people being racist and I view myself as above them, but I don't spend that time thinking about how I can do better. And admittedly, my initial reaction to getting the backlash from Paige was to be defensive. In fact, I edited my pinned comment on my video and in a very aggressive way where I say, no, here's what I meant.
This is what I was saying. Their initial reaction was to defend their viewpoint. And in my opinion, that matters. Your initial reaction matters. That's not to say you can't correct it, you can't apologize, you can't realize your wrongdoing. However, you double down, and it's only whenever you receive so much hate that you made this apology video, which again, I still have yet to feel like it's an actual apology. And it doesn't even seem like it's an apology directly to Paige. It's weird, first of all. But your initial reaction was to be defensive. It wasn't to try to understand. And it wasn't to apologize.
I stand by it. I don't regret it. And that's what happens when you read it before you think. And where that came from is it's sometimes difficult when you had an intent with something and you cause harm in a way that you couldn't have even conceived you would have caused harm. And harm can come unintentionally. We can harm people unintentionally because of preconceived racism that we have in us. Because what racism can look like sometimes is not just, I'm going to maliciously attack you in a racist way. Racism can come in the form of ignorance as well, of not knowing that certain phrases, certain words are harmful and triggering and shitty to say. Not knowing in itself can be racism and is racism. And so in the moment, all I could focus on was what I hadn't intended to do. All I could focus on was, the fact that I meant something else. But that doesn't mean that what I said wasn't racist. It doesn't. And I am regretful that I wouldn't have apologized if I didn't get so much backlash. That's something for me to genuinely reflect on. It is a shameful thing to realize. It really is. Especially because I know that my own audience holds me to a high moral standard. It's hard when you're personally involved with people. I feel for Jen on such a genuinely personal level. And seeing somebody be so shaken.
And honestly, that's weird because you feel for Jen on a personal level. Now, clearly, y'all are friends. That's a separate thing. But you feel for this person. Why were you not able to feel how Paige Christie was feeling just through her video? You could tell how upset she was. I felt something physical. I felt a physical reaction while I was watching her video because I can see and I could feel how upset she was. Not only that, but Paige was honestly being still so kind, and she was reiterating the fact that she agreed with the Sixth Spence video up until that last bit. She was still reinforcing that in the video where she was upset. She was still trying to understand you. And not only that, but she asked and requested certain things. She requested for them to remove that section of the video, which they didn't. They eventually ended up taking the entire video down and then deleting their YouTube channel entirely. But technically, you didn't do what she requested. You were forced to do that.
The way that Jen was shaken by Paige's video and understanding so well how irresponsible that video was. And I stand by the fact that Paige's video was irresponsible. Yeah, she criticizes Adam in it, but she also perpetuates really harmful things about Jen and that cause real harm to a real person. And it was hard for me And it was hard for me to maintain my ethical compass in front of me in the way that I normally do with my other videos, where I edit and re-edit and re-edit and re-edit every single thing that I write to make sure that it doesn't cause harm to anybody. And I didn't do that here. I just spoke. And it does say a lot that when I speak without editing, what comes out of my mouth is something racist. It's not funny. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be laughing. Am I afraid of my income being impacted? Yes.
Weird thing to say.
Of course I am. I'm terrified that this is going to destroy my YouTube career before it even started, because I don't want to, I'm not going to, you guys know, if you're my viewers, you know what I need this income for. I'm not going to say it here because it sounds like guilt tripping. I'm not trying to do that. You don't have to feel sorry for me. That's not my intention. I'm trying to say that I know that this apology could seem dishonest or not genuine, because of course there are factors like my income being impacted, my channel YouTube career ending before it even started. Of course those are factors. Of course they are. That doesn't change the fact that I do know what I did. And I do acknowledge that it was a shady thing to do. And I felt in the moment when I recorded it that there was something weird about the way that I phrased myself. But I didn't trust my gut. I didn't question it, and I should have. I should have questioned it because I should have known better. I should have known better. As far as Adam goes, I am not sorry to Adam. I stand by everything that I've said about Adam. His video about Jen was really shitty. His audience is out to get me, and that's okay.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, it's just all bad. Just, okay. I see why they deleted their video. So, at this point, Adam has made us aware of what's been going on behind the scenes and how Jen has been harassing him, right? Yeah. Just to give you a quick synopsis of what's been going on and the things Jen has been doing to Adam, she has been not just doing this to Adam, but also to Alyssa. Now, again, Alyssa, I know, wasn't a upstanding person, but in this situation, she's also being harassed in a sense. Jen is fat shaming her. Not only that, but Jen is using derogatory terms whenever she's speaking about the muckers. She is victim blaming Adam for his situation that happened with Colleen. And the list honestly goes on. Evangelina did a great video covering this Google Doc that is out there and just going over everything that Jen has said online, whether it's tweets or through her comments. All just horrible, horrible, horrible things that I honestly did not want to sit through and make a video about because I don't want to repeat those things. But Evangeline did a great video. She handled it very well. So definitely go give her some love. But at this point, all of this is already out there. And the Sixth Spence is still doubling down and saying they're not sorry. And not only that, but still doubling down on the fact that they still empathize with Jen, despite everything she is doing. Right.
I'm not gonna boohoo wah-wah about Adam's audience coming at me because I knew that would happen when I made that video, right? You don't make a video attacking two really major YouTubers with really large fan bases. See, this is why I cut my, God, I can't fucking talk today. This is why I cut my sentences. You'll see in my YouTube videos that I cut my sentences in a weird way and I like Frankenstein them together. This is why I really stumble through my words. But you don't film a video attacking two people with tremendously large.
Which I'm just gonna use this time to say, I've made a disclaimer in my description of my videos. Again, I'm new here, so I know I do this too. Completely unrelated to this video, but please just be kind. I am new to the space, and like I mentioned, I am a little nervous because people are actually watching my videos now, which only intensifies my anxiety. So please just show some grace and be kind as I learn how to just better express myself and kind of figure out this space that I am new to.
viewerships and fan bases, not knowing that they're going to come after you. I expected that, so I'm not going to feel sorry for myself with that. Of course, I'm not going to expect them not to have something to say about it. Of course they will, and they have that right. I don't think saying, well, I don't think I've seen some people saying, well, Spencer's a small creator, I hope Adam doesn't come after them. I don't think that's a fair thing to say. If I attack Adam, he has the right to respond. If I attack him publicly, he has the right to respond publicly. So I have no beef with him for responding to me, but I'm not sorry for what I said. Adam, you need to take better responsibility with your channel. I stand by that. I believe in that. That being said, guys, my mistake with Paige, unfortunately now is really taking away from the support that I was seeking to send Jen's way, and that is my fault. Completely my fault. And I have so many regrets around the fact that I did that, not just to Paige, not just to me, but I've done that to Jen as well. And so in light of that, of course I will be removing the section of the video where I tell Paige that she should have known better. But I am leaving the other sections of my critique towards Paige because I do stand by those. I do. I think that video was a shitty thing to do. That being said, I am sorry. I really am. I'm sorry to Paige for making you sit through a microaggression. I'm sorry to my audience for disappointing you. I'm sorry to Jen for taking away from the support that you were supposed to receive because of my fuck up. I'm sorry to a lot of people. And
still making this about Jen while she is harassing Adam. Okay.
I'm sorry to myself for letting myself down in this way.
Okay. That was something. For sure. I have no words. I don't understand what that was. I can see why Adam titled his video "The Worst Apology Ever," which we're gonna watch next. But to close this video and tied in a neat little bow, I don't understand their viewpoint. I don't understand how they're doubling down on being empathetic towards Jen. Again, yes, during that situation and what Jen went through with Gabby, Hannah, and Alyssa, that was horrible. But now this is turning into something else. Now we're having a different conversation. Now it's about the harassment Adam is receiving that is being portrayed by Jen herself. So to empathize with Jen, and it also feel a little weird in how this apology was to Paige Christie. Weird. And then to actually double down and say you're not apologizing to Adam at all is also weird behavior. And that's all I have to say. It's just weird. It's weird. It's not. Let's just all be human. Let's not, harass one another. And as always, be kind. But always be empathetic with other human beings, please. And this is not me just speaking to the Sixth Spence. It's just the general void of whoever's watching. We need to be kind to each other. And just like they're able to empathize with Jen, we should be able to empathize with Adam. He took a couple days to respond, to make his apology. He has been going through a lot. Let's empathize with that. Sure, he could have made a community post if you want to die on that hill. Okay, maybe, but he didn't. It's not that serious. Like, he's allowed to take time. I don't think it's fair to make this about him when it should all be about Gabby Hannah. At the end of the day, this all started because of Gabby Hannah. Let's just remember that. Why don't we? But okay, that's all I have to say in regards to that. Thank you so much for joining. As always, I appreciate everybody who has been leaving such kind comments. And yeah, see you on the next one.